Good afternoon everybody. How are we all on this very hot summery day? Let me know how you are in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified of when I'm releasing more information about the photography and the beginner's guide to photography. Today we're looking at lenses. Lenses are the heart of your camera. They are what lets light into the camera and onto the image sensor. It then records the image that you see through the viewfinder. Generally, your camera will come with a budget kit lens, and it's usually a zoom lens. It's a really good lens to start off with. It's a general all-round good lens, but as you develop your photography and decide what genre you want to move into, you may decide to invest in into more expensive and specialized lenses. So for portraits, you probably would invest in a fixed lens, a prime lens, and if you're going to do field work, landscapes, you may want to, wedding work, invest in a separate zoom lens. So generally the budget kit lens that comes with your camera will be quite inferior quality to a typical lens that you would go out and buy for a specific genre. It doesn't really matter what images you take, but I think the image will be it will be inferior to the lenses you can go and buy separately. Your everyday wide angle zoom lens is usually around 24mm to 105mm. If you're looking at weddings, then a good zoom camera, a good zoom lens, I usually use a 24-70, and I don't really switch my lenses over, so I'll keep that on one camera, and I'll have a prime lens for portrait up close work on my other camera body. So as you generally speaking, lenses are split into two groups. So you've got fixed, your prime, and you've got zoom, which is movable. You can have telephoto lenses as well, and they're great at distance work like wildlife, and wide angles are great for landscapes. You can have macro lenses too, which take your photographs up of quite small objects, and they will just highlight the object in the lens. So for example, like insects, food, jewelry, then a macro lens is great. Generally, your prime lenses come at fixed focal lens length, of 24mm, 50mm, 85mm, 210mm. Your zoom lens focal distances will be adjustable from around 24 on average mil to 105mm. Your telephoto lenses, which is extreme magnification, high magnification, they can be prime or zoom, and they can come in between 210mm and 500mm. So I have two camera bodies, and the reason for that is I don't like to keep changing my lenses. One, you can miss the shot, but two, I've found in the past when I'm changing my lenses over, especially if it's a hot dusty day, all of that dust gets inside the camera and it affects your images. It shows up on your images. So now I have two camera bodies, one for my fixed prime lens and one for my zoom lens. And at a wedding, I've got both on each shoulder, and I like to use my 24-70 zoom lens for most 90% of the day, and then I'll use the prime lens for those up close special portrait shots. Although the prime lens is less versatile than the zoom, you will have to move about with it. You have to get into position because you can't move the lens. The quality of glass is usually far superior to the zoom lens, and the optical quality, you'll just see it in your pictures. The prime is a smaller weight, and the prime lens is smaller, is a smaller lens, so the weight is usually less as well. There's few moving parts in the zoom, so they tend to not break as much as the zoom lenses. You can get a much larger aperture, f-stop, and we'll go into that in another video, but you can get right down a large aperture to 1.8 on a prime fixed lens. It lets in more light as well, so you can shoot in low light opportunities. You can also blur the background and bring the image forward to get a clearer shot, and that's called the bokeh. So it blurs the background, and we can go into that in more detail as well. Your fixed focal length means that you have to move more. So with your zoom lens, you don't have to move as much. You can zoom in and out. But I think the fixed and the prime lens will make you will increase your photography skills quite quickly when you're having to do all the moving around, because you get to use your camera more, you get to move into position more, and it will make you a better photographer quicker. So the zoom lenses usually come with your camera, as I mentioned before, the kit lens. You don't need to switch these lenses so much in the field, they're more versatile. Journalists tend to use telephoto lenses because they can bring the subject into view much more easily, and they can hide more as well. So it tends to get used with journalists who are perhaps shooting celebrities or on a sports field. If you're quite a way up in the stands, then a telephoto lens is perfect. These zoom lenses are typically 24 to 105 mil, whereas the telephoto, as I mentioned before, can go right up to 500 mil. There's also a fisheye lens, and it's called that because of the weird distortion that it does, like a fisheye. It takes a really wide angle view of your photography and distorts it. So it's great for artistic work in cathedrals, sports stadiums, and it does give it that artistic view, but probably not good for everyday photography. And then you've got your macro lens, and I mentioned before, this can bring small subjects really close to you, like flowers, insects, jewelry and food. Some cameras you might find have this macro feature built into it, but if you think you're going to be doing a lot of work with smaller items, then probably best to invest in a separate macro lens. So that's an overview of all the lenses, and I will be back soon to talk more about focal lengths. I hope you've enjoyed today's talk, and like I said, if you want to subscribe to my channel, it will let you know when I'm bringing out some more videos. If you want to contact me, it's janelouisephotography.com. My socials are all there. Just let me know what lenses you use, and have a great day. Take care in the sun. Bye.